So yeah, I had often been doing a lot of sunbathing with no shirt on because no one could see me. And I was just sitting there looking at the lake, and this guy comes in. I knew when the landscapers were coming, and there was no one supposed to come.
Nobody, yeah.
And all of a sudden, there was this guy, and he's like, "Hey, don't mean to surprise you." And I was like, "I just put my shirt on like 30 seconds ago. I'm sure fucking glad I did that." And I guess it was just because they're like, "No one's home. And just go get something out of the boathouse," and just didn't happen to think, like, "Oh, the pet sitter might be surprised if somebody suddenly shows up."
Oh, so the neighbor came over to get something on the boathouse.
To return it, actually, he'd already been there. And then,
okay.
yeah.
I tried to get him to sit down, but no.
Yeah, that he has several power struggles he likes to do, and sit can be one of those. He was just ignoring you and disrespecting you there. He wasn't being.
I know. Typically, I would actually spend a little time working with it.
Yeah. There was the first couple days. I just made a lot of choices. To be like, okay, how can I avoid this particular power struggle as soon as I would recognize it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was the going for walks was a challenge repeatedly. One day he was barking at me and playing keep away, and that was definitely a heightened level of challenge and kind of a dominant, like, I'm the one in charge. I get to decide when we go for a walk, and you have to chase me. I was like, I ain't fucking having that. So, I think that's part of the reason some shit got torn up yesterday when I was gone for dinner is because he hadn't gone for a walk. I couldn't get. I give him multiple chances. I am really reasonable about it, but if he keeps playing around, fuck it. I set it down and walk away.
Same if they give in to him, but they don't give him enough attention. There's ignoring, there's neglect.
Right.
He'll act out anyway.
I think that's why he comes to me, because he's like, all right.
Lay down.
The only way you'll take me out is if I come to you.
No. Back. Lay down.
Yeah, it definitely takes it's my super firm.
Yeah.
My super firm face is good.
All the way down. No stretching.
You're being an asshole.
I'm gonna see if it'll work. Lay down. No. Back up. Down. You're not pushing me around.
The only time I've gotten him to go to his bed is at feeding time. He does know now. I mean, down. And sit.
Down. Good boy. Stay. Relax. Stay.
Like to see that Pongo. Good boy.
I'm giving you attention. It's tough when the other dog is doing so well behaved-wise.
Well, he's a lot more submissive. I'm super tender-hearted.
Nope.
Okay. But the thing I was going to say that kind of made me sad was I suspect they don't spend much time with the kids, or because Brian's people were here, and granted the youngest is 16, so that also makes a difference, and they were both boys, and one of them just pet Hawthorne. Like I gave him brushy gloves, and he was petting Hawthorne for a while and just talking to him, and of course he was loving that. And when they left, he had the biggest smile on his face, and that was literally the first smile. There was one very brief smile he gave me once, a couple days in, but that was other than that, he's real reserved, and he was smiling. And even he was really happy. He was really relaxed almost the whole time.
Nice.
But yeah, definitely I was watching very carefully.
I feel the timidness from him, from this one.
I don't, they don't know what happened to him before they got him, but he's clearly terrified of the road. So walking.
Oh, wow.
Our most successful walks were the cul-de-sac right here where there's like no cars, and walking back and forth on their property.
Nice. Okay.
I didn't want to push it. It was too stressful for him.
Well, this just popped up for me. Like a hypersensitivity. They have insane ears, insane smell. Something could have happened. And it's kind of like the noise of the city. skittishness, scaredness.
Mm-hmm.
I get a sense from him of a little bit of tension. So,
And
that
he
could be too
definitely has food scarcity issues because at first it was, you know, just very, 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 very bad manners that led. I mean, if it hadn't just been bad manners, I would have been like, shit. Now also the German Shepherd is dangerous at mealtime. But instead, I was like, okay, I can tell that you just really don't know how to be a good boy around food.
Yeah.
And so
Could be trauma, yeah.
when I first started with sit and wait until I'd put the bowl down and stood for a few moments, I'm going so incrementally slow. I have my hand up. I'm reminding him.
Yeah.
I have to be so gentle, like voice with him. The first couple days, it was so hard for him. He was like just draining like rivers of slobber, and he just could not seem to sit. You know, he kept popping up. He wouldn't stop looking at anything but the bowl, no matter, you know, how I got his attention.
Gotcha. Ooh, yeah.
Today, I recorded this morning. He looks at me most of the time, not the bowl. He sits before I even tell him to.
Hell yeah.
This guy doesn't, I'm like, all right, I'll be right back, Pongo. He waits way back from the door. He doesn't even try to go through. And then, now he waits. He barely pops up. And,
good job.
Yeah. We got the first few days I was following their food plan and I was feeding them 5 motherfucking times a day. And I decided, no to the hell no, I am not fucking doing that anymore.
5 times a day?
He needs medication. So that's why there's a 10 a.m. and a 10 p.m. So that's where some of it comes from.
That's the 12-hour, yeah.
But then there are also like more breakfast, meds, lunch, dinner, meds. And he gets a little snack every time he gets meds. So I just like, no, you know what? You'll get all the meds. Lunchtime has no meds, so we're just splitting it. I'm not feeding you in the middle of the fucking day.
No, yeah.
I also think he's kind of hungry. I think that makes him ornery and wants to steal shit because he's hungry.
Oh, he's hungry.
Because he eats such small amounts. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of times with dogs, it's like once or twice a day. Usually 2 times a day. That's kind of the average.
The husky that I had a real problem with last year, once a day, food he hated. So he ate very little.
Oh, that's not good.
And he had severe food aggression because they put him in the corner by the front door with his back to the room. And we went from him standing in the living room barking at me for 3 hours. And I couldn't, luckily there was a bathroom in another part of the house because I couldn't go through past him, to him politely waiting quietly while I make his food, and then politely waiting outside while I would feed his sister, and waiting till I put it down. Like that again was another miracle. Aww. And it was hard work. Those people were idiots though. And they're like, he never acts that way with us. Right. That's not that big of a surprise. And I did see him act this way with you. I didn't have this part of the conversation with them. I saw how badly they were. I saw how badly behaved he was, and I saw how they fed into it. Because he didn't do any of that shit when it was me. Anyway, I don't want to talk about dogs unless you really want to talk about dogs.
We'll get out of that one, yeah. You don't still have him as a client, though, right?
No, they have definitely not. I can't imagine that they would call me unless they're like someday like, wow, you were right.
Yeah.
We lost our house because he bit a kid. Like, I'm sure I won't ever hear from them again. But my hope is that they realize that they are very bad husky parents and not very good dog parents.
You're so cute, Billy Joe. You're just all up in my real. Oh,
So so your studio, is it same building?
Same building. Oh my god, I love you.
Is it for more privacy or what's it for?
Just to get windows. I was stuck in like a corner underneath the clay studio, so we were getting the clay hit down. And then right across from, I don't think so. No. Go back. Back up. Good boy. I wanted windows. I wanted to have more coworkers because I really enjoy. I find I'm like, cool. We're all getting in the studio. We're all working together. But when I got there, like today's my move out day. Tomorrow's the 1st, and I was like, hey, could I move in a little bit early? Cool. Yeah, the place will be ready by the 28th. Brilliant. 30th's coming by. I'll come by and like work on it. I get in there and like the corner where I'm supposed to put my stuff has a giant couch in it. Has all this other shit, and I'm like. And I get a text about an hour before I get there, and the woman's just like, I'm sorry, I still have to move shit. But I was like, you didn't say, like, literally everything. Like, what the fuck? Literally everything is in our corner where Jessica and I are supposed to move into. So Jessica and I have a studio downstairs. We came upstairs. Cool, there's windows. We need to get a breeze. So I'm actually going to remove one of the window panes, and somebody taught me how. So it's literally just, like, getting rid of the caulk and, like, tabbing it up, and then I'll make something that we could put a window fan in or something.
Yeah,
like
cool.
Super, super simple and easy, or an AC unit.
Natural light is all the thing.
But having to like move all of her shit,
that's annoying.
And she has a giant couch, and it was just like, hey, maybe we can trade the couch because the former tenant, it was her and her partner, and this guy Zach ended up leaving, and she ended up like. I feel like just bitching about it, even though I love her and she's amazing. She had a concussion. Oh, no. So not too long ago. So she's still recovering from that. So I'm like, of course she can.
That really does jack shit up.
Totally. And then it's just like, okay, you got to hustle for more work because you have to take time off. And it's just like, oh yeah, the whole grind. But anyway, I kind of wish she said something like, hey, you're going to need extra hand to move the couch, or you're going to need this, or even like an update on just like, are we keeping the couch or are we not?
Do you think she just like totally spaced it? Or?
She's kind of spacey. She's very well put together in terms of like running several different like businesses, a belly dancing studio class. She's into her art. She's been running a lot of the Haven stuff. So I'm just like, I love that. But also there's
some stuff that she's not trying.
We all do. I could be late to things. She's like same way. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm just finding myself angry because this is not convenient for me right now. I have to move some shit and I really don't want to, and it's hot.
Yeah.
So I'm allowed to be angry. And then Jessica came in and she's like, I'm having the hardest fucking time. And part of me is like, well, honey, you got to show up because I'm relying on you. You need to help me move this shit because I want my fucking deposit back.
Yeah.
I am not going to leave without that, okay? I get my fucking deposit back.
Yeah.
And so I find myself angry, but then she's like, I'm angry at myself. And I'm like, oh, honey.
Right.
And so then we both just shared. I'm like, we're both allowed to be pissed off right now. Right. We don't have to let it out on each other, but we were both allowed to be pissed off. And then I found my necklace. That was cool.
I was just looking at it.
And, I lost it. And I'm like, where did it go? It's gone forever.
And then, I also, when I'm really annoyed at somebody for something like that, I often am like, okay, when have I done something similar? Like, okay, they're human. Yeah, it's totally okay for me to be annoyed or upset about it. And it clearly wasn't malicious, No, so that's somewhere I always have to kind of sit for a little bit sometimes, unless it's someone like my fucking housemate. Then I'm like, no, you get no goddamn grace no more.
No, and that's where it's just like, I'm allowed to be pissed off by this. And that's a big one too, of just, I'm allowed to feel exactly what I'm feeling. I'm allowed to be angry. It's teaching me about boundaries. It's teaching me about assertion. What actually is here. Sometimes verbalizing it absolutely helps. I didn't want to shit talk her to the point where it's like, ooh, I didn't want to.
Yeah, but sometimes you're thinking it out loud.
Yeah.
And it helps you process it. Totally. Yeah.
Like I explained to Moksha because he came up and helped me, and I'm like, I am pissed off that there was no communications about how much shit there was here. That his stuff hasn't fully left. That if she needs our help to like organize some stuff, none of that was communicated. And at the same time, I understand that she's probably going through a lot. I don't know the whole story here. I'm overheated and hot, and I know we do communicate well together. So when we do figure it out, it'll be okay. And so it was really nice to have kind of the whole spectrum. And that's part of human design. I'm a manifesting generator with an emotional center.
I should look it up.
Oh, do you know? Did you ever?
I have a report. Yeah, I have a report.
Okay.
I'm still learning, but my therapist is amazing.
That's cool. I definitely need to get myself a therapist. I'm on a wait list, but yeah.
Oh, she takes OHP.
Great.
I can send it to you.
Yes, please.
Actually, let me do that right now.
Yeah. Send it to me. Okay, so where is it? I am looking for my human design report. Yeah, I just recently saw it, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is what Corinne wants me to do. I'm almost positive I'm a manifesting generator. Yep. Type manifesting generator, profile 6-2,
Ooh, I'm a
split
4-6.
definition, inner authority, emotional, solar plexus, strategy to respond, not self theme, frustration.
Okay, we're very similar with that.
That doesn't surprise me.
I am a 4-6. You're a 6-2. So I wonder what that means. I'll learn a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, I do have a whole report too, but yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, we
whatever.
can both understand the emotional and sacral authority. I forget what you said. Emotional authority means that we have to go through the entire cycle.
Oh,
So we will have incredible optimism, and then we will have incredible pessimism.
Oh, is that what you're? Okay, so wait, you're saying that is? Tell me again.
That should be the emotional piece.
Where is that?
Is that your authority?
Oh, inner authority, emotional, solar plexus. Okay, so that's what you're talking about.
That's exactly it. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, and I did remember reading the report, and like all of this makes sense.
Oh,
but so cool. I'm glad that we're similar because now you don't have to learn something new.
I totally understand when you hit your wall, and it's just like, okay, my energy's out, and you are getting amazingly well. Like you were getting really good at it.
I'm pretty good at estimating how long I've got too, and it's kind of funny. Like the other day, I was talking to, I was talking to Jeanette or somebody. No, it wasn't her. I don't remember who I was talking to. But I was talking to somebody. I was excited to talk about that to them, and I said I have 45 minutes in me, and at like 50 minutes, I went. It's like, I'm done, and
I think that's amazing. But yeah, you feel your power as a manifesting generator and as the emotional authority is in your expression, is in your emotions, and is in your authenticity.
Well, excellent.
Bam. Okay, exactly. Like what?
Excellent.
Your whole range from the lows of the lows to the highs of the highs is meant to be expressed. How we express it, I'm still learning.
Yeah, I'm sure there's skill to.
Yeah. But it takes anywhere between 24 hours and 7 days for us to make a big decision.
Oh, no wonder I'm always like, just don't rush me.
Yes.
Wait at least 24 hours before you respond to me, and I'm waiting at least 24 before I respond to you.
From 24 to 7 days.
Right.
It's just like, some people are a full 28 days.
Right.
You gotta go through the whole
and I
cycle.
do need longer. But I mean, even when I say, will you please wait 24 hours before you respond? I have yet for a single person to actually do it. So I figure, okay, well, if I can't even get 24 hours, I know that they're not going to get it when I say, just until you don't feel elevated about this anymore,
Or here's the one, too. This is what I'm learning. I'm like, okay, I have a great book on boundaries, too.
Cool.
One that's actually a little bit more neurodivergent geared.
Excellent.
I'm just like, thank you, because some of the stuff I'm just like,
yeah.
I go, okay, I'm not gonna read your message. Yeah. I am not gonna read your message. I have to wait 24 hours, and I will not respond to you. And it could be an automated reply, in the I'm sleep thing. Hi, I will get to your message when I get to it. Right now, I'm busy, or I'm busy for the next 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
If somebody's really heated and keeps texting you, it could be like, I'm going to block you for a day.
It's really just because it's too instantaneous. It's all, I mean, back in the day before we had text messaging and that sort of shit, you had to write an angry letter and usually be, okay, I'm not so mad now. I don't have to send this. Or you couldn't get a hold of them on the phone and you couldn't leave voicemails. And so you would just naturally calm down. And now that there's this instantaneous, there's this childlike need for, we got to do it right now, and actually no.
Yeah, the childlike and the urgency. I blame the internet for a lot of that, as well as the phone. Yeah, it's overwhelmed. I'm so overstimulated with the internet, and it's totally my drug. So I'm like, all right, I acknowledge that. I acknowledge I spend way too much time looking at cat videos or building stuff or dogs. And at the same time, I'm like, okay, it's a drug. I recognize that. And I'm like, all right, I'm overstimulated. I am so fucking overstimulated most of the time, especially with today's expectations. How do I break that down? With my mushroom journey, it was like, how do I just come back and turn myself into devotion? Turn my self-care into devotion, because... And a big thing hit me was like, well, how do I just enjoy myself? So I was all wiggly, and I was like, yeah, that goes my pleasure. I want to do that. And so more and more I'm trying to recognize, where am I saying yes because I feel obligated, people pleasing? Can I catch myself more often? Can I look at it and have a little bit more sympathy for myself? And I'm like, okay, that takes time. I'm getting better. And at the same time, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? And
Do you
I
want
notice
any
I
of
tend
this?
to focus on what I don't want.
Do you want any?
Yes.
So this is the signature. One's indica and one's sativa. So okay, the darker one is the indica. It's like it was so beautiful and still in the bud. I should go show it to you. It's like black something, and then this is this. They're both a teeny bit on the dry side. But,
That's perfect. I'm gonna. Thank you.
You don't stay here. You just pushing. What's going on? What are you doing?
Where'd you go?
Food. Yeah, that's right.
Boy. Come on, sit down. Here. Hi, baby. Come on. I'm in a risky situation. Look at the day.
okay, so here's the black mints. Look how pretty. There's actually even one that I can't burn this. I'm gonna have to take pictures of it first.
God, if you get a good close-up picture, let me know.
Yeah, I do.
Um,
I have the equipment to get amazing close-up.
I have something for you. I remember.
There, so I can't. Okay, well, you can still appreciate it even without. But yeah, this is some of the most beautiful weed I've seen in a super long time.
Okay, this is the coolest fucking thing I've got to play with in a while, and I found it at a thrift store. You can look at it as a magnifying glass,
Nice.
so you can see all the crystals up close.
Oh, crystals.
Let me see.
Everything.
He won't let me. Okay, so wait.
You got to kind of go up close, yeah.
Oh, holy shit!
Exactly.
Oh my god, that's my hand. That is
If you
trippy as fuck.
do it
Can we
to
see the
all.
gross little bugs?
Here, try it with this rock. Try it with you.
Okay. And so, what is this called?
I forget. It's like a magnifying glass eye thing. Yeah, you got. It's like playing with it.
Is this hematite? What is this?
I don't know. Beth gave it to me
Man.
because I was giggling while I had acupuncture. And that's the first time I giggled, and she was like,
oh, wow,
"Ooh."
it is pretty. I can't. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. What is this thing called? Do you know the eye
No.
loop thing?
"Oh, no idea.
God, I need
There's a
one.
specific name for it. I can get it for you because I know which thrift store I got it from."
And there was more than one.
yes, there's
Shit.
tons of them, and they were for like 50 cents, and I was like,
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Buy however many you can, and I will reimburse you. Those are definitely the kind of things I would.
Yes.
Because I really think that one of the one of
Oh,
the
wait,
things-
here, take it. Take it.
Oh no, are you sure?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. I was like, wait a minute, why did I
One
bring
of
it
the
out?
things
It's
that
for you.
Piper started asking me to do years ago was teach us how to see through your eyes.
Mm.
And so that's been part of my guiding like I guess not light, but when I'm trying to decide like how to approach a topic or an image or whatever, it's
Yeah.
often coming from the place of, okay, well, what am I doing? I'm trying to teach you how to see through my eyes.
Yes.
And that's part of why I do when I do selfies or when I share selfies, it's usually for a particular purpose. It's not I take very few of them. It's more, POV. It's more my point of view. You see a lot of my feet, you see my hands, you see,
Well, that's what I
you
love.
see through my eyes.
You posted it on the leadership page, and you have like your grid or your like
yeah, I love doing
compilation.
that.
That is a lot of fun because
It
it
is.
is seeing it through your eyes, and it is wonderful when you're like, look at this.
It's sort of like a visual evidence journal too.
Yes.
And it's fun to play with because then I can be like, okay, I can get it to look like this if I go delete some things up here, or no, I don't like that one. But there's a lot of threes. I almost always at least take 3 images or one, or there's only 3 worth keeping, or
You get your system.
I
love your
do.
system because
and it's
helping
basically
me
my
so much.
journaling.
Can
Good.
I use your light?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, use my refillable. I got
Ooh,
so pissed about
nice.
these fucking shit things that I
Oh, they
throw
suck.
away.
And so, and these are the wind kind, because I get pissed when it's breezy and I can't do anything. Good face.
I'm working on my facial special.
So I will need to. I need. I can't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure I've published the conversation that Sarah and I were having,
Oh, nice.
and a lot of it is kind of like, this is, you know, what makes her cool kind of stuff, and yeah, really really interesting conversation.
Yay.
And so yeah, that'll be published.
Cool. And I hear she might not be around, or she
Yeah,
is.
there's a chunk of time she's not around,
Okay,
and then the other gal Tracy decided, yeah, it's not a good time for me, and it makes sense.
Well, I might be able to take on more stuff.
Great,
So,
I would, yeah, good. Do
Yeah.
you okay,
Ooh, let's look at
I can't talk about business. I'm sorry. I want
Nope.
to. I can't. I had
Thank
to
you
turn my
for
business brain
reminding
off.
me and stating it beforehand. I
Yeah.
immediately thought of that when you said that, and I'm like, that's perfect. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
I'm trying to stop work,
You're doing
by a
great.
certain time. So, but yeah, I really invite time with you. I have things to talk about. What am I looking for? I am looking for Sarah. That's right. Oh my God, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of some of the stuff that I haven't published yet. Look, it's so cute. Look at us. And see, she unfortunately was wearing fragrance, and so I'm like, okay, so it's not you, it's me. I got to be all the way over here, and so that was a little bit of a joke.
Oh my God, that's a great thumbnail.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah, YouTube does a good job of picking random thumbnails for me. That I always try to pick the ones where I look like the weirdo.
You do what I do. I think we do the same thing because I like the weird face for me. I'm just like,
Yeah, well, it's so much less stress, You're not trying to look cute. You don't have to
Yeah.
worry. The one thing I realized today though is I was sitting over here and I was naked and there was a reflection and it was recording the reflection. So I'm like, okay, I got to make sure I don't have the camera aimed at the glass when I'm walking around naked. So I had to cut a whole big chunk. It was not like it was super important, but
I wonder. Well, now that I wonder if the AI can go ahead and like hit that. Oh, it's live.
Oh yeah, you didn't realize?
For a while.
You didn't. I'm sorry. I thought
No,
thought
you're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
I just feel bad for using names.
We can always.
No, you totally warned me. No, you did. You did.
Okay.
I forgot.
We can always cut it out too.
It's
not. I don't think anybody watches this. I mean, our stuff is the kind of stuff that's gonna just sit there and then it's gonna get discovered and people are gonna be like, I saw them when I saw their early shit and then I started to see them and yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, okay. Maybe I can share this thing because it's like I've noticed as soon as I'm like, oh yeah, it's live. If other people can see this, how I spoke about my studio mate. That's really interesting because I'm trying to get more realistic with myself and more honest with myself of this intensity. And some of it's like, fuck you. Like, oh, this fucking sucks, right? And then there's sometimes afterwards, there's like shame. There's like, I didn't really mean that.
Well, but also,
now that I got
reflect,
the anger out, I'm different.
If you reflect on it, you really didn't say anything really blamey or... I mean, and that's one thing that could be kind of nice about recording it is you can go back and go, okay, I feel bad because it's possible that someone might feel like I'm talking behind their back. I'm venting. I'm not actually saying they're a stupid shit and I want to kick them in the nards. I'm just like, I was really frustrated. I wish I would have had that information. I'm disappointed and angry. Like that's just real. That's just reality. But it also, you in the story, you're also, it sounded to me like you communicated, you found out what is going on, like, and you came to like, well, this is what it is.
This is what it is. You know what? It's kind of hard now that I'm recognizing. How like it's normalizing the process. That's what this is all about. Now I want like video. You can put it on me. I'll make.
You could be. Oh yeah, go for it. I was just gonna say you can do whatever you do what you want. You want no? Come over here where it's prettier.
Okay, I'm gonna go in the background.
Oh, that's right. I can move. Oh yeah, you can have that background. You're too far away. I mean, I could move. I can move it. It's just that even from here, that you wouldn't be able to hear. Are you guys gonna be silly?
Oh, good point.
If you want to be verbal, silly. Okay. So yeah, see.
I want to be.
I mean, that top is so cute on you. Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
the older I get, like lower my boobs.
You go through phases where you're like, I just pretty much look hot, like pretty much all the fucking time.
And you're in one of those, man.
Oh, lately I'm like, oh, look in the mirror, like, oh,
right, good. You are checking yourself out in the mirror.
even though like I'm seeing myself here and I'm like, suck it in, pull it in. I'm trying to love myself with the weird nose and the shape and the weird forehead.
Isn't that what we've all been talking about forever?
And then sometimes you hit that spot and you're like, the sun's hitting you just right and your hair is amazing and you're just like, what the fuck is that?
It comes from confidence, man. Yeah, it's you see the real you, it becomes visible. That's really why I think there's so many like really shitty photos of people is less about, it's just more the camera is capturing like the way they perceive themselves and instead of their reality. And so when you're just like, yeah, cool, oh, you know what, my butt looks good today, then like the camera can actually start to pick up because you're seeing yourself more clearly. So then for the camera can also see you more clearly.
Fascinating.
That's just my theory, having come from, you know, like the pre-digital camera age, like they didn't exist.
Now that you can record yourself and watch yourself and your mannerisms and your mood, it's making me want to track. I should be doing this anyway for trying to figure out my hormone health.
Yes.
I should. So how you doing? Sneaky. I want to go ahead.
I'm glad you're on camera now because you're just so fucking cute. Yeah. So what are you tracking? What do you want to track? What do you need?
Habits, diet, moods.
Yes,
I want to
yes,
look at the patterns of my life.
Yes,
I realize I'm
yes.
like, okay, how do I make making myself healthier and healing and all this shit fun? Because I am stressed out and overwhelmed and judging myself. So I'm looking at my patterns and be like, all right, it's one big fucked up spider web. That's all I twisted shit, right?
Right, but
And
it's familiar, isn't it?
Well, now that's the thing. You start exploring it. You start exploring the spider web that's like, it's scary. Oh, it's scary. And you're like, well, now I'm used to the scary. It still makes me jump, but or it's still painful, but it's okay. I can look at it a little bit more. I can see a little bit further back. I can step a little bit further back and witness it. Like, I feel like I've been physically getting that. I'm like, am I disassociating?
Right. Remember when I was like, hey, man, you see how you're witnessing yourself now? You're like,
Yeah. Oh, I love all this shit. Oh my God. It's so funny how we can get in these rhythms of darkness.
Yeah. And if you'd have no evidence to show you like, hey, man, it's not always like that, then it's too damn hard to believe anything except for what you see or feel, you know?
Well, it made me think about the beauty of being able to record all the moods. Like, it's kind of vulnerable to record anger or something I feel maybe
it's
shame
only vulnerable
about.
because nobody lets each other see it.
But when we start to, not only do we get permission, because you and I know this, we're just like, oh, we fucking need that. We need that shit. We need other people to be,
Right. It's time for community to come together and feel their feelings for real. And let each other see them feel their feelings, because then everybody will be less freaked out about it. Did you know Sarah sings? Like she sings her day? Kind of like we do?
I remember you mentioning her years ago.
No. Your friend Sarah that you introduced me to, she also is a narrating singing person.
Yes.
She's like, I walk around and sing what I'm doing. I'm like, me too. Awesome. You're with your people. I think I said that to her like quite a few times. You're with your people, man. You're fine.
I shared with her today. She had like a low moment, reached out, and I'm like, oh, thank you. I actually have the capacity. And it was just like, oh, I've been there. I've been where you are. It's normal. That is human. And I wish somebody told me that was fucking normal. And so I will share that so you don't have to go through the years of doubt or isolation and feeling like I had to fake everything, even with close people that I was with.
Yeah. Hey, leave it. Oh, shoot, yeah. I guess not on the floor. Not on the ground, I mean.
You just lick everything. I get spoiled with the dogs that are
right.
self-sufficient.
Well, you know what was cool? Okay, so can I tell you something that's kind of crazy? It's, when that whole time, like, folds, and then, like, you know what I mean? Okay, so his coloring is almost exactly the same. I haven't looked at photos, but I'm pretty sure it's almost exactly the same as my dog, Keely, who was a pit lab mix. One of the best friggin' dogs I've ever had. And I've been praising her a lot lately. Where it's like, I had this dog that was so good. There was one time she saw a steak on the table and she did not eat it. She looked at it, but she did not eat it. Her soft spot was chocolate. She could not fucking control herself around chocolate. She would hunt it down and multiple trips to the vet because of chocolate. But I thought it was her that it was because she was a good dog. But then, like, within 24 hours of me arriving,
he was not getting things that he looked at my food, he smelled it from a distance, he did not take it. And so I'm like, oh, okay, that's actually me. And that's why they don't steal the shit, because they're like, that's Alpha's food. I am not taking any of that. If they want to give me a little bit, that's cool, but I will not touch boss's food. And it's just it's hierarchy, pack appropriate respect.
And it's actually, it's
I just wish it wasn't like super duper fucking rare.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh wait, it's not. But so it's like, thank you for reminding me of Keely. Yes, you're just a lot bigger. You're a lot bigger.
Well, that's okay. That goes with self-love. It's a reflection of working on yourself. Okay, I got really lost in the sauce for a second. These clouds are fucking beautiful.
Isn't it everything? Everything is beautiful.
That's what I'm trying to do more of, especially when I'm just like, fuck, I'm in the low, I'm worrying, I'm just like, I'm out, like, I'm trying to figure out physically where I'm at. This is a new one. This is a new one of just like, okay, I'm just sitting with myself. Where is my attention? Does it feel in my right eyeball? Does it feel like it's in my stomach? Does it feel like it's 20 yards that way? Does it feel like it's in 5 dimensions over there and it's got to come around the corner and come back in the house? It's like, where do I feel my energy and attention? So I'm trying to map it and be like, what does inside my heart feel like? What does inside my body feel like? What does feeling grounded feel like?
You're going deep.
Yeah, going
Deep and wide.
And that was connected somehow to something, but I can't remember. And
it's all connected.
8:30, so I wanted to make just at the time, and if you wanted to share more.
Okay, so let me just tell you too that I said my friend brain would go off by about 8. If that was like kind of, that really wasn't my end time.
Cool.
No, we're good. I probably will start shutting down by around 9. No matter how much fun I'm having. So
yeah, thank you.
Me and the dogs need our wind down time in order to,
Wow.
Yeah. And I haven't done my cleaning. I did some packing yesterday. But yeah.
What did I see there? Prioritization, self-care, having your to-do list in your head, able to see it.
Oh, I got to get it out of my head. No. That's my lesson right now. I got to get it. My to-do list has to come out of my head because I keep forgetting things or I recycle thinking about them. Like, did I do that? Did I do that? Shit, did I do that?
What I meant was you have a snapshot. I do the same thing too. If it stays in my head, if it's not on a to-do list or in my calendar, you telling me to do the calendar was huge.
I have a lot of recurring stuff too. Recurring alarms, in particular alarms on sits.
Yeah. Sometimes do you put too much on, and then it's just
never. Okay. There's still something. Usually I forget, and I figure, you know what? The worst that's happened is I've been reminded of something that I actually don't need to do. But invariably, even in homes I'm familiar with and routines I'm familiar with, I learned this from Bella's house. I'd been there. I had spent months, a year there, and I still would sometimes forget, certain things, oh shit, it's Bella's dinner time,
or that is coming over,
and so that's why I just take all of that, every executive functioning thing that I can take out of my brain and use my executive assistant for. Then that is seconds to minutes to hours of time I've just saved by just be like, hey, I need you to remind me at 4 p.m. that I've got a wada coming up. And that's what a good executive assistant does. I used to do that for lots of people.
Ooh.
So that's one of the things exciting. I can tell people how to use this like a kick-ass executive assistant. You no longer have to pay $80,000. I never made that much, but that's what I was worth. You don't have to pay $40,000 to $80,000 for a fucking kick-ass executive assistant because you got it in your hand.
Yay.
You actually have a whole fucking team in your hand. It's not just your executive assistant. You have all kinds of shit in there. And so you know what? You've got your whole damn office in your hand. And if you're sitting at one desk and never moving, then you know what? You're just tied down to shit. You don't need to be tied down. Dude, get creative and adaptable.
It is. Well, I use it as I'm okay, well, I'm using it as something that I don't want. What do I want it for? If I can't get rid of the phone, I need it. I need GPS. I want it. I like using it. It's really cool to be able to access a lot of stuff. How do I use it then rapidly for something where I feel good about it afterwards? Otherwise, I feel sinking sometimes, and I'm like, okay, go with that feeling. How do I want to feel
Yes, for sure.
afterwards. But I love it because you have all these systems because you've trialed and errored, and I think it's beautiful. That's where the sensitivity can be so powerful because then you are exploring the nuances of yourself to the point where you're like, oh, I see your map. I see it because of my own map and exploration. Like, here's what you do.
You've got a menu, so you're like, I don't feel like doing that thing on my movement, routine today. I'm gonna do something else on the menu.
Yeah. It's not about like overriding the fact that you don't want to do something. It's like, no, literally,
do that
don't
ever.
do it.
I overrode my gentle nudge. It cost me $140, and I don't know how much. Hopefully, it's not a difficult conversation. Yeah. Like that, I had the nudge. Don't use it. I had the nudge yesterday. Don't give them the Kongs. They're too stressed out. Go with the apples. The apples have been working, and So, yeah. that is what tore me to shreds, was the inability to read, and in particular the inability to have. There was no place for me to follow my intuition.
Ooh,
I had to put myself into a certain. There were so many expectations of me, right? That So therefore, that if you ignore it or stuff it down or say I don't have time for that right now enough, then you get overweight and sick and exhausted, and shit goes to hell.
And your hip cough where it shouldn't, like things aren't working. A lot of fibromyalgia. There's so many things that are connected to not listening. Not being authentic to ourselves, not listening to ourselves, and not acting upon what our body's telling us to.
I think some people will have amazing recoveries. There will be some, of course, that the damage is irreversible, and there will always be challenges. And I think there will be a lot. I believe I'm going to be another one of them a second time, who can recover a great deal of health. And it's not a permanent condition anymore.
Yes.
A lot of those things have become permanent conditions in our perspective. But
well, here's the problem. I thought, like cancers and things like that would be figured out by now. So I kept smoking, going, I'll quit later.
Oh, really?
And so now it's been like all my 30s.
Yeah.
Saturn return or whatever that one's called, has been like, okay.
So how old were you when the final quit? When did that happen?
That was 2 years ago. 33. 33.
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
Is that a specific?
Or 34, 33.
What, is that a specific astrological cycle, or is it just that?
I think it's 34. It's every 7 years.
Okay.
But I feel like that's a big lesson.
Sorry, we both were like, okay.
No, I like it. And then I went to a wave, and I'm just like, oh, where am I? I'm kind of sinking. I'm noticing the birds. I'm like, oh, I disconnected from the.
Go out. We've been riding. Yes, Sarah, I told Sarah about our low heart rate game. Or I was like, we used to be really fucking stressed out, so we figured out the low heart rate game to keep our heart rates down, and so we could stand to be in the same room together. And then when we were feeling a bit better, but still way too fucking anxious, we would play the low heart rate game, so that when we got excited, we still would regulate to the lower heart rate game, and so that we could. We wouldn't burn out as quick.
We were able to play with recognizing our limits, what that felt like, so we could actually have signals. Oh, ding, ding, ding. Okay, hey, body's telling me I'm getting pretty out there, and I'm my energy's going to deplete itself way quicker because there's so much out there. I'm amplifying something when I really needed more rest or calm.
Right.
So
we're also resetting how many fucking learned behaviors.
Yeah.
And I think when we struggled the most with it, we were both in some pretty shitty health conditions. We were struggling with health shit.
Yep.
And
gut issues, skin sensitivity, allergies to
that
was when you had the smells.
You were
the
what?
Sensitivity, I believe, to
Are you saying you recovered from that? Is it?
No, I'm still working on that stuff. But I was thinking, when did it start? Like the sensitivity to smells.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. I think it became a, pretty much every time I go anywhere around people, thing, I don't know, at least 10, 15 years ago, but it became I think I might be having anaphylactic shock symptoms, when I was still living in Yale House. It had been escalating.
Yeah.
And the asshole upstairs was like, I can still keep using fragrance laundry detergent. I don't give a shit that I told you that I won't. And I'm going to spray this body spray. I'm on the 3rd floor, and there's a little bit is going to drift into the basement, and you're going to breathe that, and you're going to feel like you're concerned. You have to call 911. Like that happened a couple times.
Oh,
so I'd say that's when it really stepped into severe. So that would have been probably, I don't know, winter, spring of 2023.
Yeah.
But it's been bad for a long time. But this level is
No, living with that where it's like, it's how I think. It's how trauma fucking forms when you have somebody who's doing something that like it could be kind of bearable at first, but then you're just like absolutely not. All right, I'm going to learn how to advocate for this, and then it's downplayed by other people because they're not experiencing what you're experiencing.
But then, like I said, this afternoon, Brian brought his people over. None of them wear a lot. They were all fragranced in some way, and I didn't want to have a conversation. I wanted to just enjoy their company. I wanted the dogs to be happy, and so I just told Brian, I'm like, I gotta stay away. Their fragrance is hurting my throat, and so I just kept kind of walking further, and Nicar would follow me. And
you're just like,
I'm still engaging, but I'm really continuing the conversation, but also I'm just like constantly moving away and moving, upwind, and so like today, for example. I think if I hadn't seen them, I already was at, like a 6 when you came, when you arrived. And so like, if that hadn't happened, I probably would be at a 3 right now. But so it's a, bless you. Are those guys getting you?
They might be.
All up in them for a little while now.
The last time I did do that, my nose got all stuffed. Maybe that's what's. I feel like I'm allergic to something.
Right there for a while. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Love flowers. Sarah does that too.
Oh yeah, I teased her because I was like, well, what do you do for fun? What do you enjoy? She's like, I love nature. Are you in love with nature? And she's like, yes, I'm in. It brings me to tears, and I'm like, yeah, me too.
Oh, I love it. That's finding our people, our thing where we can geek out about.
And can you imagine being 21?
Right.
I mean, I'm like, oh God, if I was like you're as sorted as I became around a year or so ago.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But you have the vision that I've had for decades.
Yeah.
And so like, yay.
I think that's a big thing. I'm like, okay, if I can't go back, I can absolutely help somebody because
I want to get in this. Even just the basic shit of like when she was telling me, oh, I've done this and that, and I stay for a while, I get what I need, and then I'm like, yeah, you know what, I've done. And I said, oh my God, that's genius. You got paid to be educated and to explore discernment and be able to identify when you're done, and you have all these skills, and oh my God. And she was like, oh wow, that feels really good because in the conventional world, that's a shame. And I'm like, oh, no, they're idiots. You are you're the genius. Like you figure out what you're interested in by trying it out and moving on when you're not interested. And you got paid. Like that's what I think is super genius. You don't fucking go pay for goddamn pieces of paper that are just really someone else saying, you gotta do it this way.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, I want to unschool.
I want to get back to nature. I want to find out what being a woman is. I want to
Rewild.
find out, what is my authenticity? What is normal? But I love that because you know what? I could see how hard she is on herself, and I'm like, that was me. That sometimes I just feel it's this incredible crushing sensation of just like judgment and shame, and it's just like, and for me, I'm like, that led to some dark places.
Yeah.
The fact that she's sharing, I'm like, no, let me validate you. Let me we scream together. For the
Yeah,
first
she
time.
was like, that was so cool.
I know, she was so happy. So hearing that too, I'm like, oh yeah, you could totally help normalize it because she needs to feel, I feel like hear it from multiple people, just like we did.
Right.
It's just like, oh wait, this is possible. This is normal.
Totally.
I need that validation. And sometimes we do need each other to go ahead and like share.
Right. And I mean, yes. I mean, even, that I need to be reminded of stuff too. Oh yeah, that's right. That works for me. Or Beth says, do your yoni steaming outside. I'm like, whoa, that's a great idea.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
Yeah, man, I'm due for some yoni steaming, and you see where I'm going to do it. Yeah, I did some in Liz's backyard too. And like, I drank some tea from the pine needles from her backyard, and I'm like talking to the trees and doing my yoni steaming and talking to the dogs. Yeah, that's the way to do it, man.
I love it. I have like a big old moo too that I could like use for like it just covers it if I want to like.
Yeah, I really insulate it a lot, so I'm always completely covered. I just yeah.
True, you do want to keep the heat in.
You gotta keep the heat in.
Yeah, okay. That's a good point.
And also, then I'm like, I'm yoni steaming, and I'm gonna make a video of this yoni steam. You see, here's my setup. Yeah, I've done some of that too.
I love your voice. That character.
Yeah, Grandma ate it.
I was gonna say it had a name. Okay, Grandma.
Yeah, there's some other characters that are yet unnamed, but it's just
What if we did a puppet show?
Oh, totally. Did you ever see Piper's Puppet Show? No. So this is like a perfect example of I have an incredible idea. I'm going to take action, and then he doesn't go anywhere. Because what I think he was doing, he called it the Helen Show, and he has his whole voice. They made puppets that he and his daughters made puppets, and yeah, I really think that like bringing funny voices and you don't have to go to school or to class to learn improv. Like you just practice improv.
You don't have to go to a workshop, a class, or this kind of stuff. It's
you don't have to
free.
be a damn expert.
It's accessible all the time. Oh my God, to be able to like with the consumerist and capitalistic and colonial society, I think I got it all. There's more than more.
Can I tell you what I got to say today?
What'd you say?
Okay, so Passy, my assistant, she started working with me in her freshman year in college. She just finished her junior year in college, and of course she's learned a lot. She's fucking badass, and she's undervaluing her impact. And so I've asked her to like, hey, I've got Jeanette, who's in her 70s, and I've got Penelope, who's 11, and I want you to make some videos like showing them. She's like, well, I don't know that I'm qualified to do. I'm like, your qualification is that you have done it, and these folks have no fucking idea you have made an impact. You have any sense of how many videos of mine that you have worked on and done something with? Because I can guarantee you only a very small fraction of that would have happened if it were me alone. How many videos are published that you basically got them to publish state? That could only happen with you. So that's your visible results as well as your extensive practice. You are very qualified to teach. And she's like, well, I'm a perfectionist. I'm like, okay, great, perfect. I'm fucking delighted that you're a perfectionist because I just got done telling you we are going for just good enough. We're going for be at the top kind of grade quality. And also I'm gonna send you the Patreon CEO's video where he's like, how can creatives can be more productive? You create to publish, not to finish. And so you just get it to good enough and publish and move on. So, because my whole thing is we're going to do it in process. You're going to see it as it goes. Then, and she was like, oh, wow. Yeah, I'm so glad you said that because I've been aiming for A. And I'm like, oh, no, stop that. Stop that. And I do not, you're going to stop doing that perfectionism shit. Because now she's going to like cruise through stuff. Like you're going to see how much more you get done by just doing good enough. And, yeah. So she's like, great. I won't have to spend as much time. Excellent. You can do more.
It's the less is more. The less is so
the less more. Is more. Simplify.
The
like
way
if
you
something's
shared
annoying you, it needs to be simpler.
Yeah.
Or not at all.
The way you shared it is really beautiful because I'm hearing what I want to reflect the theme of we really need that from each other. We need each other to be like, hey, look what you're doing.
Look what I see.
That is fucking magical.
Yes.
Huge. Oh my God. And I love it because now you've got so many examples as well. You are building up too. And well, you're also showcasing asking for help and receiving them as well.
I'm like, look, this wouldn't have happened without asking for help. And yes, some of it I paid for, but I'm fucking delighted. She has skills.
Yeah.
now she never was otherwise would have had. She's
No, it's a win-win. It's
yeah,
actually a win-win.
totally.
Oh my god, and that's so brilliant. I love this. I love this.
And so now she's going to start showing people, and that's another way of improving your skills.
We do need each other though, because
We
like
do.
when we're improving our skills, if we have a perfectionist ideas, especially with the shame route or fear, then it's or past traumas that our society kind of just has it ingrained in many ways, and so we're coming out of that. We need the other people to be like, no, that's bullshit. This is normal.
Right.
Come here. Come here. You believing in yourself is actually good. You feeling like you're actually worth a lot. But yeah, that's actually the right way. Not being so like, oh, big humble. And it's like, no, that's all this stuff of bullshit.
And then there's also the specifics of knowing someone over a period of time, whether you know a lot about current or it's over a period of time. But like I was talking to Tom weekly for a little bit. We go in spurts. We've gone in spurts for a couple of years now, and so I do have like and some breadth. And this last series that we did together, I think it was like our 4th or 5th call, and he was like, yeah, I'm just really kind of disappointed. I feel like I could blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, stop right the fuck there. Didn't you just tell me also that that over the past month, you have actually gone out and ridden your bike and gone and done like art stuff for yourself, like multiple times every week. And before that, you weren't doing it at all. Dude, success. And didn't you also just tell me that you worked out a bunch of like annoying tech shit with your landing page and made this huge fucking progress? And he was like, yeah. And so I was able to name some specific things. Like, you just accomplished these things.
Well, meanwhile, it's just like forgotten. It's like behind closed doors.
It's forgotten, or it should have only taken me 2 hours. No, where'd you get that crazy ass idea? Nothing is that fast.
It's like making a star, and you're complaining that it's like not quite as bright as you initially wanted.
And that was like, I'm bitching about not having Wi-Fi in a $5 million home. I can't do Wi-Fi stuff by the lake. Whoa. Oh, I'm so mad. Like, no, we need to focus on what's fucking magic.
Well, it's okay to be mad about that stuff too.
That's what I'm
learning. I'm just like, it's okay that I'm not wanting to feel this way because it feels stupid, it feels petty, or it feels whatever. But it's still here because it's a subconscious shit coming up. The more I can feel it, the more I can come up and release it. Be like, you're here too. Because otherwise, sometimes I'm bypassing some shit.
Oh, for sure. For sure. For sure. This is Palo Santo.
Yes, the perfect burp while it was like
that my daughter Ainsley gave me for my birthday. Aww. She gave me a big bag.
Yeah.
Like Palo Santo takes a while, and she gave me a big bag. I'm like, oh, awesome! Here, I'm going to give you one. I'm going to take one everywhere with me.
Yes.
I can give some away.
Oh,
would you like some?
Yes, please.
And if you'd like the stick, you're welcome to it.
Really?
You really are, yes.
Oh my god.
And if you want to relight it, this is really helpful. That's another thing. Palo Santo is really hard to light, and so that I love these for that too.
Oh.
I love the smell. Yeah. And I know that I do energetic clearing of homes when I'm there just naturally without trying. But I'm going to start intentionally doing something like this.
Oh, guess what I learned?
What?
When you sage a place, you start north.
Okay. All right. So I just have to get my compass out.
All you gotta do is get your compass or the phone.
Yeah. Okay. So start north.
Start in the north and then work your way clockwise and end in the northwest corner. And do the corners. And that's what I learned with some energy work. There's more to it. But that's a really simple way.
So how is it, like, wouldn't it be amazing if we could kind of demonstrate, like, here's the bare bones basic little fire ceremony. Here's the bare bones. I love what you're. My God,
I'm like, so it's like when you do
here's
dance
the bare
mirror,
bones basics. Home clearing or room clearing or you should energetically clear. Whatever, like on a regular basis. Yeah. You have a big emotion, like clear it.
Yeah, using it as a tool that we can go to. And we have to work on it to habitually get it to be something we go to. Because we know when the moment frontal lobe shuts down, we're just like,
in the beginning, you don't feel the effect.
Exactly.
You have to believe that it's happening. And then eventually you're like, I can notice the subtle realms at a much better, higher level. I can feel the cleansing.
Doing it all the time and trying to put intention into it. Yes. Instead of being like, well, this is stupid. That's not going to work. So it's
No.
like actually being like, even if it's hard for me to believe, I'm gonna put my energy into clearing the space.
Mhm.
Okay? And also calling stuff in, not talking about stuff we don't want. That was something I learned too. It's just like, oh, call in ease,
Mhm.
harmony, safety. Oh, skies are pretty. Ooh, orange.
So I would love to, if it arises, since you've done a lot of really interesting, cool stuff in the past week or so with your location and the mushies and stuff. I would love to hear if some sort of vision or something drops in that you're like, okay, I'm starting from here. if this last weekend was basically your starting point, what do you imagine could the coming year or whatever potentially look like?
Ooh, I like that. Solstice is solstice. Or like, I love it. So what came in during ceremony recently is having a different relationship with fear, learning how to devote myself, how to devote time and energy to myself, create a devotion routine or ritual, and the why. What's the why behind it? Really focus on what I want. Try and focus more on what I want, while I'm also able to try and practice recognizing what's fearful.
Right.
Ooh.
I love it. Devotion. Yes, that was a huge turn for me, I think, when I really framed it as, okay, my life is a devotion. My life is a prayer. How can I be devoted to myself?
Yeah. And what's cool is because it's like the whole goal, like sometimes we think, I'm sorry, we can't make it about fun. That's not serious enough. And it's just like, no, that's exactly what we need.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need.
I'm learning where I'm still having these like hidden cloaks that are almost blocking me. It's like these imaginary, I'm like, wait, there's something here. I didn't even know it. I thought I was looking about it. It's a fucking filter.
Totally
fuck,
right.
Like,
yes.
And then you're just like, oh, that's what I really am. And I'm starting to be like, okay, there's still a part of me that believes this. Yes. So when I can say that too, it helps disconnect. I know there's a lot in it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we got a little recording of you doing that, because I was seeing like a drawing or a painting or something, like demonstrating the, like, oh, I see, there is shit behind this fucking this filter that
Yeah, I imagine like a gelatin for some reason.
Yes.
Like a clear kind of gelatin,
Viscous.
and you're just kind of thick, but it's like it just can't really gooey a little bit. But
because everybody also in reality has seen that before, where they're like, okay, there's something covered by some sort of, like, you can kind of see through it, but not very well.
yeah.
And so, like, yeah, you've seen that in the physical. Well, I don't know,
And it's like energy hands. Okay, I'm learning with like the powers of ADHD, if I do have it, or any type of neurodivergence.
You
Talk to you
have
about
the
getting.
power.
I have a power. Singing, narrating. Oh, there was something there. It's gone.
Shoot, I'm sorry. I distracted.
So did I. I was surprised how well I stayed. The camera helps with that, because I'm like, oh, I better perform for people.
Oh, I didn't feel like you were performing. I felt like you were just, we would have been doing this exact thing if this hadn't been on.
That's very true.
Right? You might have been in a different part of the patio. I don't know. But
yeah, I would have been told, at some point we would have both gotten up and been just like,
yes.
We're just going to move.
Yeah. I wasn't doing anything different because this was on. Maybe I was egging you on a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, it's like getting fun. It's getting into it. When you're with people, it's like collaborating with the right people with particular things.
Turn around and see the hummingbird on the flowers. Yeah, they like these flowers a lot. Isn't it amazing how he's still like there even though we're here? He even sat still on the flowers for a while the other day. Is he still again? He's sitting. The camera would never pick it up, but what can I say, you? Is he still there? Oh my God, he's still there. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see him. Isn't that amazing? I'm gonna cry at the beauty of the nature. These must be very sustaining flowers.
Yeah. I wish I had my glasses, but I'm not going anywhere because then you would just go away. Hi, buddy. I see you. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. What is happening right now? I think there's something magic happening. I don't know. Why? Hi. That was really intense. Oh my God. What are you, a flower?
I know, and I took my phone out, and I'm like, maybe if I stick the wood
Well,
out.
I bet I bet it'll pick a little bit up. Man, he is still hanging out. Oh no, he's gone. Damn. Oh wow. I hope we can see him on. I don't know.
Okay,
I
you're
hope
by the gutter. With your nest.
that was amazing. I believe
was
that there
so
was
fucking
there was a
magical.
message from the hummingbird. I don't really know what it is, but I sure see a lot of hummingbirds, and I see hummingbirds at rest. Is what I see a lot of.
That's not common, too.
I know, right?
Wait, it's gonna do something. Oh! Almost night.
Oh no, I forgot about dessert.
Oh, that was so sad. Oh.
I could put some cherries. Let's see. I don't. Do I have a?
I think
I might
I'm
have a to-go
good.
container. Okay.
You're so cute.
Well, I like tempted you with
You
ice creamless
did.
Sundays, but
I appreciate it.
would you like a
Yay.
mandarin orange for the road?
Actually, yes.
Yeah, I hopefully
Toss
it's
it,
still
toss
good. Some of them are starting to become tart, but for the most part, they're still good. It's
I'm
probably the
learning how
last
to
time I'll buy them.
juggle with the mandarin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets very bruised, and I had one explode on me when it fell on the floor.
Oh.
But if you don't have things to practice juggling with, a mandarin is great.
Yeah. Brian's into juggling. You should.
I want to learn how to do a wheelie on a bicycle. I brought my bicycle back out.
Oh.
I got a seat that's actually good for the lady bands.
Nice.
Oh my God, I'm
You
like,
want to do a wheelie on what kind of bike?
on my bicycle. Just my.
Like your road bike?
Yeah.
Oh. See,
I don't know.
I have never been drawn to doing shit like that.
I see somebody else do that, and I'm like, I like that.
That looks badass.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll look cool.
That's probably something else Brian could teach you how to do because he does it on a BMX. Obviously, it's different, but I would imagine
Yeah.
some of the mechanics would be similar.
I think I might be able to do it because I'm able to like balance with no hands. I'm able to turn with no hands. I feel very fancy with that. You know, it's like these little
Mhm.
things I've done with rollerblading or with my bicycle that I'm like, ooh, this isn't. Not too many people can do this. I feel fancy, but it's like one thing. So I'm just like, all right, I want to kind of learn more. Like I kind of know how to juggle, but it's not consistent.
right.
So I'm like, all right,
you got to
get better at this.
stack the skills.
Yeah, that way I can talk about my feelings and process in real time while I'm juggling fireballs and painting a painting.
This is pretty cool. Like with your foot, are you painting with your foot, or like are you taking a break from the fireballs, or?
Good point. Yeah, if I put a brush in my mouth and I fell, that would be terrible. I can't do that.
That would be terrible.
Any other orifice, no, I can't hold it onto that. But maybe I can hold up my toe. But then it's like the unicycle. I don't know how that balancing act works, but I want to try it. I think I'm calling it a unicycle. I want it for free though. I want a unicycle for free.
Uh-huh.
I want stilts.
Really?
Fuck, I want to be a clown.
I want to be a clown.
No.
They used to. I don't know if Alberta Street Fair is still cool like this, but there was a golden summer where my ex-husband and my daughter and I went pretty frequently, and Ainsley made stuff to sell and Jeremy made stuff to sell, and we would just like have a fucking great time. And the girls sold rubber band balls, for fuck's sake. Like that was anyway, there was often some random shit going on, and frequently people on stilts. There would be like little impromptu, it's like a teeny like Oregon Country Fair where just all of a sudden, oh, there's a parade. Oh, there's somebody dressed like a jellyfish. Like,
jellyfish. Oh, I got a big one coming up. Okay, Moksha got into Oregon Country Fair.
Yeah, you told me that, and that's like badass.
Crazy.
God, your muscles. Did you just see your muscles?
I know. I've been flexing because I've been feeling
Woo!
like flabby
Damn.
and fat
Woo!
and like
those arms. Woo! Anyway, so Moksha got into Oregon Country Fair.
I like this too much.
Not too much. It is exactly the right amount. we are the cutting edge of the unscripted future. Exactly. Do not let others make your imagination for you. Be your own imagination.
Oh, but you can collaborate with other people. But
Absolutely.
It is come with your own imagination and what we bring uniquely. Our weird shit, the stuff that other people didn't like or we may have gotten rejected for. Like some of that
Yeah,
This is
that's
actually what other people think.
1984 in action, man. Just, you know.
Big brothers.
And I just rewatched that recently, and it was a little upsetting. But.
I watched a dystopian movie about the future, and I was just like, oh, this is a little too. Why did I do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Neurodivergent brain is like,
yeah. I
need to watch a comedy series.
I started reading a book last night that was about a huge pandemic, completely changed the world. And I'm like, when was this written? Oh, 2016. Interesting. Oh, and then did I tell you about the Fantastic Four movie in 2005?
No. Wait, maybe you have.
I think maybe I did. Where there was this whole section that was like, oh, I've got lots to do today. Let's get this meeting on the road. Oh wait, yeah, I can't go anywhere today because I can't leave the house. Yes, it's unsafe to go out of the house. You know that. And so like this whole conversation that would have been so very at home in 2020, and then to like really top it off, the rubber band man, like he reaches across and he comes back slowly with a toilet paper roll.
Shit.
I've seen a lot of really intense like what feel like foreshadowing.
Yes.
From varying like yeah, it's intense how often I even actually have a recording of Ainsley and my friend Sarah's kids talking about it. Like,
it makes me want to get my bug out bag and shit like that. And it's just and I'm like,
that's why I think pet sitting is genius.
Mm-hmm.
You're practicing.
Yep.
You know exactly what you need. Probably even have a lot of it packed.
Where's the they're gonna paint their house.
Yeah, there's the front door has some samples going on. There's I
think a blue-gray would look lovely.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
All right. Okay. I don't want you to leave, but it's wind down time.
It's 9:01. This is perfect timing.
Did you will you pick one out? Oh, it's a baby. Pick one out. I'm gonna do this on camera.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the rules are. And
I always wonder if the rules are gonna change. Then I'm like, oh, I want out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, they're gorgeous.
Right?
Sorry, I'm so loud.
No, you're fine. I'm pretty sure that I can't imagine that being an issue. Right? They're like so this was okay, this is a particularly high end but I don't normally spend this if I had paid full price, I wouldn't spend that much. But the week of your birthday, you get half off anything.
Oh, sweet.
So I was like, give me the best shit I can get.
That's fucking brilliant. I just splurged it out. Oh my god, I love.
You like that when you found one that called to you?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. And this was yours though, right? Yes. This is what you gave me. Perfect.
I know, right? You're just like, wait. You gotta constantly keep track. Okay, what's here? I don't want to get too messy. I still need to keep track of things. Do I have enough time to clean up? Like I was cleaning up last night at the end of my mushroom journey. Oh. And I was just like, oh, I'm gonna make pancakes. Okay, here comes another way. Okay, no, let's look at the lake.
Yeah.
Where's the
dog?
It
can be easy to get distracted, huh? But yeah, the purpose of it was to be there.
I don't have anybody else distracting me. So the cool thing is I'm like learning how do I bring it back? How
was Buzz when you were on Munchies? Do you feel like was he cute? Do you think he could tell that? I mean, like he was attracted to you?
He was a little like he got the zoomies. So I was like, you got excited too, okay?
He was feeling the hat.
And then he just like hung outside with me, and then he let me pet. I think that was when he let me pet his belly and like his butt. And I was just like,
nice, awesome. Oh, you guys got on the same wavelength. Dude, we're gonna. Yeah, I'm really glad to hear that you're like I can do more because the more confidence I have that I can fill dates, the more I could be like, how much you want?
I don't want to do whatchamacallit. I think I'm done with that.
Oh,
and I felt it in the life. Talk about feeling the signs, and it's like there's some things that happen in the moment. That's sacral, by the way. Sacral stuff is in the moment. That's instinct, and it's just like quick decision. That's usually like, what do I do in the moment? Do I eat now? Do I eat this or that? Do I do that? So that's really good for manifesting generator. What you are, and then also, the emotional part is where we have to go. Okay, we got to go through our emotions. We have to go through the whole ride to make a long decision. But there's something about that. I forget. It's gone.
Oh, God damn it! Yeah, it was a good.
It was a good note. Yeah. I'll come
Oh, I
back
think
to
it was
it.
something. It came up because I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna do more." And you're like, "I'm done with festivals." Oh, and then the
Yes.
signs came up in the moment, and
Thank
there we
you.
go.
So I had a feeling. Some of my signs are long term. I feel like something's coming. I feel like something. I don't know if that's a human design thing or just like whatever. But there's stuff that's in the moment where I'm just like, how the fuck did my arm just move, being able to catch something that fell off the table? What the fuck? And you're like, I didn't even think about it. And you're like, oh, instinct. I don't have to think about it. I keep on thinking I want to think about it and I want to control it, but no. And so now it's just like, oh, okay, it's happening. Listen to the preemptive stuff. So I've had like the sign for a while, so I didn't think it was going to come. Mad Max, all that kind of shit. You know, I was always like, all right, ready for the end. And I always thought like, oh, that's a trauma response.
Right.
That's what I learned. It was a trauma response. But now I'm just like, ooh, am I also feeding that? I actually don't want that to happen if it does. So how do I get ready for it though? How do I
Right,
make a
yeah, there's
realistic
preparation
thing? Yeah.
without it coming from fear. Yeah, the exploration of fear you said you're
Yeah, and so that's the thing too. It's like those little signs that bubble up where it's like, hey, take a walk. Hey, do this. Hey, we want to feel good about ourselves. Hey, let's do this. And sometimes I'm just like, I kind of do the. I'm like, no, I don't want to feel the feelings. Like, and so I'm trying to listen to that more and be like, see, look. Every time we follow it, it gets a lot better. So there's been that about things, but it's the hard part, just listening. Yeah.
right.
So I'm like, all right. I know this is really hard. I would rather have another outcome.
Right.
Fuck.
Right.
But this feels like the right thing to do. It feels calling or pulling.
When we had dinner with Jeanette, you know Jeanette, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Jeanette wants to be the boys' grandmother, basically, like surrogate grandmother. What are you looking for, would you?
My phone. I think I put it in my bag, but I don't know.
Yeah, you probably should.
Oh, it's right there. Yo, I found it.
So, Sonny just graduated college, and he asked Jeanette. He's like, "All right, I'm 22, 23, I can't remember. If you could, what do you wish you knew when you were my age? What advice would you give me?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "You can't do a single thing wrong. Nothing is not wrong. It's just you make a choice. You make the best choice you can in the moment. You follow it until you decide you want to do something else. You didn't do anything. You didn't make the wrong choice. You just made a choice, and
Oh, I love that.
yeah, and you just So it was yeah, it's so good. Good job, Jeanette. Yeah, nice.
Fuck yeah, that's
Yeah.
ooh.
Yeah, that acceptance piece of like they're just sure you can make a choice that is more damaging to you than helpful. Like absolutely. Like I still want to argue the word wrong is not helpful, but
Yeah.
I mean, what have you learned from the choices you've made that you kind of wish you hadn't?
Because the word wrong makes us associated with bad, and bad makes us think of punishment. It's almost like immediately our body's like, we have to punish ourselves.
Right.
And then we feel that punishment, and then we feel that pain. We're like, stop it now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing where we don't actually see, wait a minute, what is the actual action I don't want to be doing and what I want to be doing? What is this actually doing to me? Let's just get down to the facts instead of bad, stupid. The judgmental words that don't have sustenance and don't really tell you the specifics of things. I think that's an important, getting specific about what we want versus getting specific about what is actually the problem here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And how many of us learned any of those skills as children?
Now but you know what's cool is we figured it out.
We're figuring it out now.
Do it together.
Yeah.
Oh my
Honestly, I
God.
think that's why some of our responses sometimes feel a little bit like, why am I so resistant to that? Like I logically know. No, because I'm young and abuse of ourselves. Do you want to go this way?